For the full recipe, where am I going? The Rudabee. For the full, whatever, I'll figure it out. I'm a big kid. The full recipe is on food link. I got this. Linked in the for the full recipe, you can go down below and click the link at food processing. Ta-da! I don't know.
Hello, my angry little elves. It's Carla, and I am here today with the 2023 gift guide. The theme this year is Pro Tools for Home Cooks. All of the items here today are things that I first learned about while working in professional kitchens, and now are things that I use on the daily in my kitchen at home. My philosophy of gift giving is that you should give a gift that the receiver is going to touch and use every single day, so they will think about you all the time. That is definitely true for everything here. Don't worry your pretty little heads about taking notes. All of these items will be linked in the video description. And with the exception of 1 or 2 special splurge items, everything you see before you is less than $100. Except for me, I'm very expensive. Before I give you the greatest gifts, why don't you give me the greatest gift of all? Like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out everyone in the house. First item is from Chubo. I will admit to you, looking at the photo online, I thought this was going to be much, much smaller than it actually is. They come in different sizes. This is the 4-pan, and it's meant to be used for your mise en place as though you were a line cook in a restaurant. I definitely do use it for that if I'm prepping things for a stir fry and I can organize, but even when I don't have a bunch of mise en place things, I love pulling one of these out and using it for my peelings and kind of keep that as my little countertop garbage container. These are also really awesome for wrapping up leftovers, and because they're this like very pleasing rectangular shape, they're space efficient. They go right into the fridge, put some plastic wrap over the top. If I didn't already have a caddy that I love, the empty tray is like a really awesome, minimal, sleek, space efficient caddy that you could push to the back of your counter and keep your bottles in. And then these guys just stack up and could go in a container, or they could just be like that. These are non-breakable, and if you're going out and grilling and having a bunch of things set up, bring this outside, you drop it, it doesn't break, you're winning at everything. Love this one. Next up is an item I cannot get enough of, and neither can you. This is a 2-quart Cambro container. I wrote about this on food processing, and it remains one of my most popular posts of all time because it is just the greatest storage container in the land. Even though it is round and not the most space efficient, I find 1001 uses for these. You can store grains, you could store flour, sugar, brown sugar, pretzel, cereal in them. If you have multiples, they stack in a very satisfying way. One of my favorite and most pleasing ways to use them is for rising sourdough, because it's really easy to see from the side of the container. So if you have a baker in your life, they're gonna love this. But if you have a snacker in your life, they're gonna love this. If you have someone who loves to decant, they're gonna love this. They come in all kinds of sizes, tiny ones, giant ones, but the 2-quart is my favorite, and the lid goes on with a very satisfying little click. If you know anything about me, you know that I love masking tape. I have lusted after this masking tape dispenser, which is made out of cast iron, for many, many years. This is definitely an item in the splurge category. It is over our $100 limit, but geez, oh boy, oh wow, doesn't it look adorable on your counter? I've got a thin masking tape on it right now, but it will definitely hold the ones that are 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And why do I love masking tape? It is really, really pleasing to label things, and instead of having to like go into a drawer and pull out the tape and then get the Sharpie, now this is just on my counter next to my caddy, and I love looking at it every day. If you're not sure that the person that you want to give a gift to is as passionate about masking tape as I am, I do have a couple of lower cost alternatives. This one is incredible and gorgeous. It comes in, I think, 8 different colors. Obviously, I chose purple for prints. And then you can pair it with a really cute roll of masking tape. Purple yellow, come on, doesn't get any better than that. And then the other one that I also couldn't resist and had to show you is this one. Also really fun color, comes in other colors. Obviously this is like that kind of groovy 40s car. And this one is like a little bit more utilitarian while also being punk and disco because of the color. I got these tapes at my local art supply store, and you could do a whole rainbow stack. So if you're giving a masking tape dispenser, of course, load them up on the masking tape, and then a bunch of Sharpies in also great colors. I mean, every day being in the kitchen should be fun. If you go into 9 out of 10 professional kitchens, the material of choice for the line cooks is going to be stainless steel. Ever since I started working with Goldilocks, I've been reaching for my stainless steel pans more and more. The reason why they're used in restaurants is because they heat up really fast. They have great heat retention. They're not too heavy, so you don't get fatigue after using them. And they can go from stovetop to oven. The really big one, which is 12 inches, it sounds so big when you're reading it, but it is really the great size for like 2 or 3 chops, but it's also roomy enough that you could toss an entire pound of pasta. These pans are seriously as good as like that name brand pan that you know at a fraction of the price. If you want to order a la carte, I think the 12-inch is the kind of skillet people will use every day and forever. And anytime a recipe calls for a medium saucepan, this is the size they're talking about. This is 3 quarts. It is heavy, it is sturdy, it is riveted, it is high quality. It is going to last you a really long time. It has a super tight fitting lid. They look great. I'm putting them in the dishwasher all the time. My life has changed. I just feel like royalty. Recommend. Some people say that the highest ranking line cook position in a kitchen is the Saucier. That's a person responsible for making the sauces. A saucier is also a French word for a skillet that has high walls and rounded edges. These rounded edges means there's no corners where the wall meets the floor. It is nice and curved, like the bottom of that skate ramp that you used to love skating down, and that means that you can really get into the edges with a whisk or a wooden spoon. This is the shape for all of the pudding makers. It's for the ice cream aficionados who love to whip it up at home. It is for the rice pudding people. It is for everybody who loves to make a bechamel for their lasagna or a cheesy sauce for taco night. Because you can scrape around the edges, nothing will burn and stick. You can pick one of these up from a restaurant supply store for less than $100. Really handy to have the lid. This one I've had for many, many years, and I would totally recommend it, but it is more splurgy. You can go budget, you can go luxe, you can go smaller, you can go bigger. The choice is yours. I think this is a really good thing to have. Cha-cha-cha. Why have a colander when you can have a spider? These bamboo handled spiders are incredible for any time something has to be scooped out of something and brought over to somewhere else. I hardly ever take my colander out anymore. No offense, colander, but these are living in the caddy. They're up on the counter. They're great for scooping noodles. They're great for lowering and lifting out hard-boiled eggs. They're great anytime you're deep frying, whether it's a donut or an arancini or a zeppoli. You want to have a spider. I really like the ones that have the bamboo handles. Go and get them. Believe the hype. This is the really big splurge item. This is the Ninja CREAMi Deluxe. My recipe assistant Eliza was seeing this all over TikTok and the internet, and she suggested it as a present for Cosmo for his birthday, and I bought it for him because really I wanted to buy it for myself. This will take a frozen base that you could literally pour anything in here, make it taste good, freeze it overnight, and then spin it up on one of these settings. on the Ninja. Cosmo and I collaborated on really what is, I believe, his first from scratch recipe development that he has authored with a little bit of help from me. I introduce you to vegan, salted, malted, chocolate, creamy, dreamy. And I'm gonna show you just exactly how dreamy it is when I spin it up. This is what it looks like when it's done. It takes about 6 minutes. The texture is unreal. The scoopability is ridiculous. It is so satisfying. It is so fast. It is so delicious. And if I leave Cosmo alone with this entire container, he will eat the whole thing.
That is good. And you know you want to try it. So go to foodlink.processing.com for the full recipe. Oh.
For the full recipe, go to food processing, which is linked in the description below. Now we're up to the little things, the stocking stuffers, the secret Santas, the night 6 of Hanukkah where things get weird. These are tiny tools that have very big payoff. All of these are from my own collection. I want you to use what I use. Starting with poultry shears. They have a longer blade. They can also go in the dishwasher, and they're just a little bit easier if you're spatchcocking a bigger chicken or you gotta really get in there. They're also probably better for people with bigger hands, bigger person, bigger scissor. Isn't that what they say? Another thing that I became a recent convert is the tweezer. It doesn't have to be weirdo tweezer food for a tweezer to really come in handy. These are really great for turning little things and big things. They're great when you're frying, a really good thing for a cutlet. They're a little more delicate. You can get in there. These are also really, really nice for twirling up noodles and making that like cool noodle tunnel. This is a restaurant supply version. They totally work. They're totally affordable. These are the ones from Gestura. They have a little bit more thought and design put into them, and they come in this really pretty gold color. So again, you have choices, someone you really like a lot, someone you just have to give a gift to. Next up, the tiny offset spatula. Maybe you're just gonna use it to smear mayonnaise on a sandwich, and then you're gonna be smearing for success. Or maybe you're gonna start getting into frosting tiny little cupcakes, or maybe you're gonna get into turning over tiny little things. They really do come in handy. This right here is the pastry brush that was issued to me in my culinary school starter kit. This is a 1-inch. I use this for everything from brushing an egg wash onto the edge of a galette to getting coffee crumbs off of the surface. You can get rid of some breadcrumbs really easily. You can also paint a spice rub onto a turkey. They're just really handy. They're really great to have. And very recently, I figured out that this metal part would stick right up on my magnet knife block. And it just gives me joy to see it hanging there every day. Finally, the cake tester. There are all kinds of cake testers. You don't have to look very far and you don't have to spend a lot of money, but cake testers are for so much more than just cake. We're taking internal temperature of things. We're finding out if things are tender. We are poking all around on the top of a pound cake so that we can pour syrup over the top. This one is made by the same company that makes these ones. It's a new item in their collection. Again, really thoughtfully designed, really beautiful, really handsome, really sharp. But you can also find them very inexpensively wherever you would pick up pastry supplies or small tools. Go stuff those stockings, friends. Remember, everything that I put in this gift guide is something that I own and use and love and really cherish and recommend every day. I hope it helps you out for all the gifts that you have to give to the people who are looking for the gifts, but also you deserve a gift. And just remember, whatever you're giving this year, put a fancy bow on it. Makes everything feel special. Peggy needs to be in this segment. Okay. Oh, Peggy, no. Peggy! Okay. Peggy, we've been through this before.